Adidas Adios Pro 4 versus the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. And the question is, which is the best carbon race shoe for you? With that being said, comment down below any information you guys know on any of these sneakers. Go ahead and put us down. And for me personally, I've done a review on the Adidas Adios Pro 4 on my channel if you do want to check it out. But I have no information on the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. So that is the reason why we had brought the Run Testers reaction to the channel. With that being said, the Sky Paris off the thumbnail, it looked fire to me. I'm not gonna lie, I love what they did with that overall design, and I'm trying to see how that performance and comfort plays a role in it. And I know Asics is gonna come with some fire. I've heard a lot of great things about that Nova Blast 5, and if you do want to see me cop that and see the whole journey of me run with it and give you guys like mile reviews, make sure you hit that subscribe notification bell so you can stay tapped in. But enough of that, let's go ahead and see what we got with this Asics Metaspeed. It looks already off rip. It looks very cushy. And every time I look at that Adidas Adios Pro 4, it reminds me of the Evo SL. Like they look so identical.
Adidas Adios Pro 4, another carbon race shoe that's had some significant updates for 2025 with new uppers.
Looks super comfortable.
Midsole. So which of these shoes?
I'm saying it like I did have it.
Racer? Let's get into it in our Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris versus Adidas
Love the
Adios
Asics
Pro
though.
4 review.
Maybe I'll buy it because I love the color red. Let's go ahead and see about these design details.
The Adidas Adios Pro 4 is one of the lowest stack carbon races. It packs 39 mils in the heel, 33 mils in the forefoot.
So we got a little 6 drop.
The Metaspeed Sky Paris has 39.5 mils in the heel, 34.5 mils in the
5 drop.
For a 5 mil drop. On weight, the Adios Pro 4 comes in at 202 grams or 7.5.
That one gotta be lighter than the other one.
UK 8.5 test shoe. That's lighter than the Pro 3. But still a shade heavier than the Metaspeed Sky Paris, which comes in under 200 grams.
What?
180.
Now that is surprising. Looking at it, like y'all, if y'all look at these two shoes, let me know which one y'all would think. I know I can't speak. Which one y'all would think would be the heaviest?
Both shoes land at
the Asics, I don't know because if it's taller. They're both $250. I don't know because the Asics is taller, but it looks way heavier.
Quick shoe comparison then, starting with the midsole. The Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris has a new midsole featuring a big stack of Flight Foam Turbo plus Piba foam. There's a full-length flat carbon plate that sits higher in the midsole and has been widened in the forefoot region to improve the overall bounce from the foam during toe-off. The Adios Pro 4 midsole features a new Light Strike Pro that's tuned differently. And
pre-predictions, y'all. Pre-predictions. And I'm pretty sure they're going to give us... Let me see these chapters. Run test, verdicts. Yeah. Okay, so pre-predictions. Y'all have to go ahead and comment this down below as you're watching right now. No cheating, nothing. Let me know which one y'all think is going to be the best out of the two. Now, I've heard a lot of great things about the Adios Pro 4. And I'm really tempted to go Asics, and I think I'm going to go Asics because I've heard a lot of people say bad things about the Evo SL. I know the Evo SL isn't on the same level of performance and things like that, but I feel like Adidas has been failing a lot, so I'm gonna go with Asics.
The forefoot rocker has also been moved back to boost efficiency. It's now positioned.
But y'all let me know in that comment section.
That's the same as you'll find in the Pro Evo 1 from Adidas. The Adios Pro 4 also carries the same carbon energy rods. You could just see them poking through here as you got in the Adios Pro 3. Now, up top, the Asics has a light, breathable, motion wrap upper 2.0. That's nicely perforated throughout to keep things really light and cool. It's sort of super comfortable. The Adidas uses a brand new light lock uppers. They've got these new locking bands that wrap the foot for a snug and secure fit. They provide some.
I wonder if it's breathable because I haven't ran in it, y'all. I just got it for a review. I never got to run in it.
Pro 3. That was that some runners found the fit somewhat fussy. The Pro 4 has thin wrapping tongues that are now stitched in to prevent them moving around. They have a little more lace pinch busting padding than you'll get on the Metaspeeds, which also have a free moving flimsier tongue here. The Adios Pro 4 also has a simplified lacing structure compared to the 3 that hopes to make it easier to get a good fit.
That Pro 4 looks so clean. That's one thing you can never take away from it.
Got around the toe knuckles, boosting overall comfort. The Adidas also uses regular laces, while the Metaspeed Sky Paris has the really handy lace lock laces. Onto the heel collars, and the Metaspeed has more padding, or at least more traditional looking padding, and a bit more structure in the heel counter than the Adios Pro 4, which keeps things to kind of a racy minimal with internal pads everything is a bit more flexible back here on the collars as well. If you flip them over, and both shoes have the usual fairly thin and minimal strategic rubber outsole for grip and to protect the high impact areas, the Adios Pro 4 uses light traction outsole for the main part with a strategic pad of Continental rubber here to boost the grip on that key landing point. There's a bit more rubber covering the key impact zones in the heel too than you'll get on the
light traction
Paris. So then in testing I ran in a UK 8.5, which is my regular Asics size, and I found the fit for this shoe spot on. It's snug and racy enough, the heels hold well for me, no slipping or rubbing. I got the midfoot lockdown dialed in really easily. I had a smidgen of lace pinch deeper into the marathons that I did and on the longer runs, but nothing crazy. The toe box feels airy enough for a race shoe, and there's good clearance across the top of the shoes. That's crucial here. Lengthwise I'd say they're okay too, just about. Though I did get one bruised toenail after my marathon test, but hold on to that thought. I also ran in my regular Adidas running shoe size, which is also a UK 8.5, and on the whole I found the fit much improved on this shoe, the Adios Pro 4 over the Pro 3. It's much easier to get on and positioned and locked down than the fiddlier Adios Pro 3. The improved stitched in tongues I think really help, and the modified lace eyelets successfully remove any pinching or rubbing around the toe knuckles, which I found a problem in the last shoe. Generally I found the heel hold was reliable and the midfoot lockdown was secure. However, I had some bigger issues with the length of the toe box and the kind of narrowness of the toe box. It does narrow quite sharply, and perhaps it sort of comes up almost like quarter of a size too short. I only noticed this deep into my marathon test where my big toenails caught the end of the shoe in quite a bad way. I ended up some of the worst bruised toenails that I've had from any shoe for quite some time, weeks after they were still a problem. On shorter runs that's not a problem in the shoe. Going half a size up may well solve it. However, I do worry that going half a size up might create problems elsewhere in the fit of the shoe. What I really want is just a quarter size more room lengthwise and maybe a bit more clearance across the top of the toe box here. Now I'm not the only runner who's reported this problem, so I pay close attention to length when choosing your size in the Adios Pro 4.
Okay, the run test.
Now in testing, it's safe to say that I've put many more miles into the Metaspeed Sky Paris, both in training and in racing. It's a shoe that I used last year to clock PBs at the 5k and marathon distance, and it was one of my top shoes of the year. I've put in more than 50 miles in the Adios Pro 4, and while I'm yet to race in them, I have done a solo marathon test. Did it around the streets of London. You can check that video out that's on the channel now. We're going to get into the two shoes then. For me, the Metaspeed Sky Paris is Asics' best carbon plate race shoe yet. It's one of, if not the best option for chasing fast times for everything.
So for all my real avid runners out there, is this the Asics, like, is this their super shoe? Like, is this comparable to like a Vaporfly 4, or like, as we're seeing right now, in an Adios Pro 4, or like, what's another one? What's New Balance's super shoe? Or like the Super Comp Elite series? Let me know if it's on like that same caliber.
You look for in a good carbon ratio. It's light, racy, airy uppers, that big stack of bouncy midsole foam, and a stiffness from the carbon plate are there. That adds some extra pop. I like the stiffness in the midsole unit, along with the just right cushioning that dampens the road impact without leaving you feeling completely disconnected from the road. It's light but cushioned, agile and precise. In some ways it reminds me a little bit of the Vaporfly Next Percent 2, going back that way. If you're confident you're in good racing shape, it's a marathon race shoe contender for sure. Now the updates to the Adios Pro 4 also work. The uppers are a huge improvement. The midsole packs all the punch you look for in a carbon race shoe. The grippy outsole holds the road with excellent reliability. The shoe feels durable for a carbon racer. This is a shoe that definitely works best when you're moving fast, landing mid to forefoot. It responds better to locked in form and top speed efforts, and I think it's right up there with very close to the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris and the Nike Alphafly Next Percent 3 as a top race day shoe. Now I also did a side-by-side mile with one shoe on each foot to really tease out the differences, and here's what I found. So I've just done my side-by-side mile. I've got the Metaspeed Sky Paris on the left foot, I've got the Adios Pro 4 on the right foot. I did a mixture of paces here, so I was doing a lap of this park here fast, kind of beyond marathon pace a little bit, probably up to sort of between 5k and marathon pace, and then I did a lap where I was moving slowly to test how they are when you kind of rock back and you're running a bit easier, where you're going to need a bit more protection. I knew this coming into the test, but when you put them both on your feet, you realise just how equally high energy shoes both of these are. They are really punchy, really lively. You can feel that foam really returning. It's got a big bounce to it. It's got a big energy to it. You can feel the combinations of the plates and the foam working together to really propel you forwards. The one thing I will say that I noticed difference, the Adidas Adios Pro 4 feels higher. It's only marginally higher in the stack, I think, but it feels much higher. And particularly almost down the spine of the shoe, down the central core of the shoe, I feel like there's more volume of foam underfoot when I'm running, particularly when I'm landing further back on my heels. That goes away a bit when you're up running mid to forefoot, which is kind of how I would really probably be running at my marathon pace. So I'd be mid to forefoot, just engaging that front section. It disappears a little bit like that, but when you land further back, you can really feel a bit more volume of foam under the middle of the foot. The other sensation I get with the Adios Pro 4 that I don't get with the Metaspeed Sky Paris, and it's something I prefer in the Sky Paris, is the Adios Pro 4, there's just a little less consistency in the landing. I feel a little bit more wobble.
Really?
There's almost a bit of encouragement.
Maybe because that little hole?
For my foot to kind of roll to the outside. I don't suffer from overpronation, but I do notice that it's kind of a slight little lean. I don't get that on the Metaspeed Sky Paris. It just feels more even, more balanced. I feel more reliable underfoot. It's a kind of more consistent platform to run off regardless of where you land on the shoes. The other thing I've really picked up though, the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris feels a little bit flatter as a result, and I think that makes the Adios Pro 4 feel bouncier and slightly more energetic. These are both fast shoes. They both feel
got that nice rocker design to it. I feel him on that.
Spring in the Adios Pro 4, but it's not quite as controlled, and I actually think I prefer the control of the Metaspeed Sky Paris, which I think just makes it feel like you're using the energy a little bit more consistently and a little bit more to your advantage. There's just a reliability and a consistency, I think, over and above the Adios Pro 4. The other thing is you can, in the uppers, when they're on the foot and you're running like this, you do feel the shortening in the toe box on the Adios Pro 4, even from just that mile. I've just had them back on my feet for the first time in a while. A bit more length in the Metaspeed Sky Paris. Still not loads of length towards the end, but they're just a bit more roomy in the toe box overall. Both have got kind of a snug race fit, but yeah, the Metaspeed Sky Paris, I think, is just a little bit more accommodating. So even as I run home here from that mile, a very kind of slow pace, I think what you really notice, there's just a smoothness to the transitions. Maybe that's what I'm getting at. The Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris is just a little smoother across the whole transition through that midsole, where there are some feelings of like different bits working in different ways under the Adios Pro 4. That goes away when you're really at it, running at a fast pace, moving with real intent mid to forefoot. It doesn't affect so much because you're just landing on that nice midsole foam up front, that nice wedge. But when you're moving slow like this, the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris just feels like a smoother shoe than the Adios Pro 4, which I think overall I kind of like that a bit more.
The verdict. Now, all y'all better not change your answers right now. And if you got it right, man, salute to you.
Then, when it comes to the ride, the energy, and the
it got to be Asics. I can already tell by the way he's speaking.
Are excellent races. They're light, lively, with a balance of punch and protection. It's good for chasing fast times on race day. Definitely up to the marathon distance. Choosing between them could come down to a couple of things though. The first one for me is fit. The toenail woes of the Adios Pro 4 are problematic. Not everyone suffers them. I did. If you do, it's not great. A bit more room in the length of this shoe and it will get extra marks. It's not quite there. The Asics was better on that front for me. Then there's a reliability underfoot. The Asics is more stable and I find the transition smoother and more natural than the Adios Pro 4, particularly landing further back. I think the Adios Pro 4 gives more bounce and energy overall, but I like the controlled energy of the Metaspeed Sky Paris slightly more. It's a bit smoother. Would I happily chase a PB in both shoes? Well, the answer to that is yes. Which one would I rather do it in? Based on those fine details between two good shoes, I think it would still be the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. So
well, then again, it's like you don't really have enough experience in that Pro 4, I feel like.
Adios Pro 4. I hope you found it useful. Give us a like if you did.
That was a very useful video. I love seeing videos like this because it's like, especially when you don't have a sneaker on hand, it's very much a valuable tool to be able to watch this content because it allows you to know what to expect and just to kind of get a better feel of what you would like for yourself. But with that being said, that is exactly why I recommend you hit that subscribe notification bell because I'm going to be putting you guys on every single day. But with that being said, you guys, if you guys do want to see some more sneaker reviews, And just like this for me, it could be a reaction or it could be an in-depth look for me, where I actually have a sneaker, I buy it, and then I give you guys my little first impressions, a little in-depth review, a little bit about the history. If you do want to check in with any of that type of content, make sure you click the playlist right here, and I'm sure you'll be satisfied. I'll see you in the next one.